Guys, so today I'm going to be doing my 2020 May wrap up. So this month I read 10 books. I read 2 physical books, 3 audiobooks, and 5 ebooks. I gave 2 books 5 stars. I gave 3 books 4 stars. I gave 3 books 3 stars. 1 book 2 stars and 1 book 1 star. Also, I had a little change of scenery here, so I'm filming from a different angle, so I hope it looks okay. So let's start with the first book that I read this month. I read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, and I gave this book 4 stars. This book is a age gap romance, and I believe I have a reading vlog on this, so if you want to know my in-depth thoughts on this, go check that video out. But it is about a girl who falls for her boyfriend's father, and it's a really good book. I love Penelope Douglas. All of her books are amazing, all of the ones I've read so far at least. So the next book that I read was Night Books by J.A. White, and I gave this book 4 stars. This book is about a boy who gets trapped in a witch's apartment and he has to find his way out because he's obviously stuck there. This book was really good. The next book that I read this month was The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, and I gave this book 3 stars, but like a high 3 stars, so it wasn't a bad 3 stars. Hey guys, so editing Maddie popping in here. My microphone messed up for this part, so I'm just going to tell you what I said. I was just explaining The Woman in the Window. This book is about a woman who is in her house because she has agoraphobia because of a traumatic event that happened in her life, and she spies on her neighbors and she ends up seeing something bad, and she has to figure out if she imagined it or if it actually happens. And it was a very good thriller, so I think it was my only thriller that I read this month. The next book I read was The Wild by Kay Webster, and I read this for a video. And this is about a father-daughter relationship, and I gave this book 1 star because it wasn't for me. I didn't officially rate it on Goodreads because I knew I wasn't going to enjoy it, so I didn't think it'd be fair for me to give it a bad rating, even though I knew that I was not going to like it. So, like I said, this book is about a father and daughter falling in love, and the father moves his family up to Alaska in an RV, and they were going to make their life there because they had had enough of the city life. And some tragic things happen, and yeah, it was not my cup of tea, let's just say. The next book I read was also for a video. It is Torn by Carrie and Cole, and I gave this book 3 stars, but like a high 3 stars. The only reason I gave it 3 stars is I didn't like how the 2 people came together at the end. I feel like it wasn't how I would want it to happen. But this book is about a girl and her father's best friend. And I did really enjoy this book. It kind of reminded me of Birthday Girl and Credence mixed together. More so Birthday Girl. I'm not sure why. I just got those vibes. The next book I have, I actually did have the physical copy, but my cousin took it home with him because it's his book. It is called The Alchemist by Michael Scott, and I gave this book 4 stars. It is about these 2 twins who have to go on this adventure with Nicholas Flamel, and it was very good. I really enjoyed it. Not much more to say about it. The next book I read was an audiobook. It was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling, and this book is super short. I think it's less than 200 pages, but I really liked it. Obviously I gave it 5 stars, but I give all Harry Potter books 5 stars. But this book is not really a book, it's more like a catalog kind of all of the Fantastic Beasts of the Harry Potter Wizarding World universe. The next book I read was Balance by Lucia Franco, and I gave this book 2 stars, but I really did enjoy it at the beginning. Like, I really enjoyed it at the beginning. but then the ending was not nice. The relationship in it was a little bit more toxic than I can stand. Anyway, this book is about this girl who goes somewhere. I don't remember where she goes, but she is in gymnastics and she wants to compete in the Olympics. So she goes to this new gym and she ends up falling for her coach, and it's a relationship between them. But like I said, it was a little too toxic for my taste. Okay, so once again, my microphone was being a little spazzy. Anyway, this next book is called Voyeur. It is the first one in the Voyeur series, and I gave the book 3 stars, but once again, like a high 3 stars. The only reason I bumped it down from 4 to 3 is because the main male character was a little repetitive in the fact that he always had to make sure that you were reminded that he was damaged, and that just kind of irked me. This book is about a club that this main girl works at, and this man, our main male character, goes to this club and he sees this girl and he falls in love with her, kind of, and he goes to work the next day and he's a teacher at a university, and he finds out that this woman that he is in love with is one of his students. So it's a relationship between them. It's a teacher-student relationship. I really did like this book. I finished it in 2 days, I think. It was very good. The last book I read, which I finished yesterday, is What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli. I gave this book 5 stars. This book, oh my goodness. This book made me so happy. I was grinning the whole time. So let me tell you what the book's about before I go raving on about it. This book is about a 16-year-old, his name's Arthur. So one of our main characters' name is Arthur. He's 16 and he lives in New York. And our other main character, he's 16 or 17. His name is Ben, and it's a relationship between the 2 guys. And wow, I was just grinning the whole time that I was reading this. It's so nice. I really feel like the author really captured how 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds act in a relationship, and they acted perfectly how their ages were. And I listened to this in audiobook, and the narrator was spot on, so good. The perfect voices for how I imagined the guys in my head. And the end was a little disappointing, but the rest of the book made up for it, and it was just so good. I just love that book so much. So that is all of the books that I read, all 10 books that I read this month. I was up and down for this whole reading month. Yeah, I guess you just watched the video. So I did film a TBR for May, and let me just tell you that went down the gutter. I think I read 2 books from my TBR because I see a book in somebody's video and I just want to read that book. So my TBR did that's why I'm not filming a TBR for this month, because I know I'm not going to follow it. I am going to mention a few books that I want to read, but not a full video for them because I am indecisive and choose books that I want to read in the moment. So the first book that I really, really want to read, and I think I'm going to finish it today, is The Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. Obviously, it's a Harry Potter book. It's amazing. The second book that I want to finish this month is Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyers, because that was on my TBR last month, and I really just want to finish off the Twilight series. I didn't read any Twilight books last month. I was really on a roll in April, but last month I did not read any. I really do. I want to read You by Carolyn Kepnes. I don't know how to say her last name, but like I said, from my last video, I love the TV series. Really excited to read the book. I also want to read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, just because I know that book is amazing and it's very relevant for our time. The next book that I want to read this month is Save the Date by Morgan Matson. I also just want to say, if you don't follow me on Instagram, which you should, because I try and post cute little pictures on there. Also, all of these books are on my Goodreads, and it's always linked in the description. So if you want to go follow me on Goodreads, that would be much appreciated. Anyway, so Save the Date by Morgan Matson. I got this from Book Outlet, so I was so surprised when it was a signed copy. And yes, I was like, maybe she signs all of her copies, but I watched a signing video just to be sure. And she signs with Sharpie, and as you can see, it's soaked through, which is what Sharpie does. So I have a signed copy. I think this is one of my only signed books that I own. So those are pretty much the set books that I want to read this month. Other books I'm gonna find randomly. Oh, I do want to read the Mr. Black duet by Shanora Williams. I'm super excited to read those ones. But, oh, I'm also gonna read, what's it called? It's by Lee Bardugo. I'm not sure what it's called. I'll put a picture up right here because I don't remember what it's called. But that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that I'll see you guys next time. Bye.